What if I were to play Pokemon Platinum, but I was not allowed to use moves that have a side effect, or I couldn't paralyze or burn any opponent? Well, today, I'm going to see how that would work out, as I've compiled a list of moves that only deal damage, only mess with stats, or only heal yourself. As for every other move, it is completely off the table. Before we hop into this challenge, let me be a bit more specific. I am categorizing moves that have a secondary effect by determining if they do something else other than their primary goal. For instance, Absorb deals damage, but it also heals your own Pokemon, so I won't be able to use it. Shadow Ball is a move that has a chance of lowering the foe's special defense, so that move is out of the picture, and so is something like Thunderbolt, as it has a possibility to paralyze the target. Additionally, moves with priority are off the table, but an example of an attack that I can use is Aqua Tail, as it only deals damage with no secondary effect. The reason I'm not allowing myself to burn or paralyze Pokemon is because those status conditions not only prohibit the Pokemon from attacking or deal consistent damage to the opponent, but paralysis lowers the speed stat, while burn cuts the attack stat in half. As for poison, sleep, and freeze, they are all good, as none of them affect a Pokemon's stats. Also, I'm still going to implement the basic Pokemon challenge rules, like no healing in battle, just to increase the difficulty. And hey, if you enjoy Pokemon content, consider hitting that sub button, as 92% of you guys watch these videos, but don't subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind later on down the road if you want. Anyways, without further ado, let's beat Pokemon Platinum with no secondary effects. As always, I named the player character TQ. I then called my rival Second, because not only do we have to avoid moves with secondary effects, but let's be real, Barry is never going to be first in anything that he does in his life. It didn't really matter which starter I chose, as none of them offer any good, usable moves later on in the game. So, I chose Turtwig, named it Sprout, and as you can see in the first arrival fight, Tackle will be our main attack. In Sanjum Town, Professor Rowan gave us the TM for Return. This will be a powerful move later on down the road, but I don't think I want to teach it to anyone right now, as I don't know what my final team will even be. For now, I caught a Starly, as it gets a wing attack at level 9, which will come in handy for the second gym. The second battle with our rival, Second, went pretty well, as Turtwig tackled away against Starly, while Brian dealt with Chimchar. So at this point, I needed to think of something for the first gym, as Tackle and Wing Attack obviously won't cut it. Luckily for me, north of Orberg City, you can find Machops, who learn a low kick at level 1. After clearing out the Orberg mine, it was time to take on Rourke, who decided to never hit Machop during the battle. Alright then, thanks for basically handing me the first badge, Rourke. Commander Mars wasn't really a threat, as our newly acquired Staravia knocked out Zubat, while Kickster gave Purugly 2 kicks to the face in order to win the battle. After helping out Cheryl in the Eterna Forest, we reached Eterna City, and I was looking to add another Mon to the team. I thought Buizel got Aqua Tail, but it actually only gets it from a move tutor in the post game, meaning we would be stuck with Water Gun for a while. Ponyta is another mon that would be nice, but its only fire-type moves all have a chance to burn the opponent. Other than that, there's not really much around. I guess it's not too big of a deal though, as Brian easily handled all 3 of Gardenia's Pokemon with a few wing attacks. After making quick work of Commander Jupiter's team with Staravia and Machop, I ventured into the Wayward Cave, where I got myself a Gible and called it Gibby. It already has Dragon Rage, and shortly after Gible evolves into Gabite, it'll get Dragon Claw and Dig, making for a pretty useful team member. My first go at Fantina was definitely a weird one. I started by using Foresight on Duskull, but he burned Kickster. And yeah, this might be the first time you're ever seeing someone actually use Foresight. However, I proceeded to get 2 critical hits in a row with Revenge, which knocked out the Duskull. Gible only got off 1 Dragon Rage on Haunter before going down, and then Staravia decided to hit himself in confusion on every single turn. Nice job, Brian. Despite the poor situation, I set up a few curses with Groddle, so Bullet Seed finished off the Haunter. My Quick Claw then activated on Mismagius, but unfortunately, Bullet Seed only hit her 3 times, so 1 Psybeam took down Groddle, and the battle was over from there. Before trying again, I grinded my entire team up to level 26. I once again used Curse with Sprout, and he hung on with 1 hit point before the Quick Claw popped again and Mismagius went down. I'm really liking the good luck we've had so far, but I'm also worried it'll come back to haunt me. Our rival, Second, was actually in front of me for once, as he waited to battle us outside of Hearthome City. Our Staravias had a quick honor battle with each other, and of course, mine came out on top. Groddle took care of Buizel, while Brian came back in to take Monferno down to a sliver before being killed. Machop finished the job, while Gabite easily handled Roselia for the victory. We then received the Good Rod on Route 209, so I backtracked to Route 205, where I caught a Barboach. This is the water type that I've been waiting for, as it gets moves like Aqua Tail and Magnitude, and eventually it'll learn Surf and Earthquake. I'm also now realizing that half of my team will be ground types, but hey, that's fine with me. I was expecting to get pummeled by Maylene, considering that I was underleveled, but the fight went pretty smoothly. Staravia took down Meditite with a couple of aerial aces, while Gibby hung on with 1 HP to knock out Machoke. All it took was a single revenge from Kickster, and Lucario died, meaning we have half of the badges already. Second was, well, of course, second to the Pastoria gym, so he got mad and decided to battle me. His Staravia was 3 levels higher than Brian this time, so we actually lost this honor battle. Dang, I really feel like I let Brian down. Anyways, Gibby came in to save the day, before Groddle and Whiscash made quick work of Buizel and Monferno respectively. Last out was Roselia, and Kickster couldn't dish out enough damage, so he ended up going down. Once again though, my boy Gabite got sent in and won the fight with a Dragon Rage. I went ahead and tried the Crasher Wake battle, but we barely even made it past Gyarados. Gabite, Staravia, and Torterra chipped him down to red health, only to have Crasher Wake use a Hyper Potion. Surprisingly, Machoke was able to take down Gyarados with Revenge, but I didn't realize that Crasher Wake's Floatzel was at level 37, so he demolished the rest of my team members. I returned to the gym with some more levels, as well as a Staraptor. Gibby and Brian were able to kill Gyarados without too many issues. Floatzel finished off Staraptor, but Machoke avenged him with Revenge. Quagsire was out last, but he couldn't take a couple of bullet seeds to the face. We had our first showdown with Cyrus in Celestic Town, and his Murkrow and Sneasel didn't really stand a chance, but Golbat did some damage to my team. This was mainly because I had poor confusion luck, like always, but Gabite and Whiscash still went down. However, Staraptor wasn't playing around as he took down Golbat. Second was already trying to get back at us after the L that he took in Pastoria City. Apparently his AI has been boosted since then, as he immediately switched out his Staraptor for Roserade since I had Whiscash in. This just allowed me to bring Brian out, who one-shot the Roserade. Floatzel went down in a single Earthquake, while Brian got his revenge from the last fight. As a matter of fact, he also one-shot Heracross and Infernape with a single fly. I hate to say it, but Byron's team is just not good. Torterra had no issues one-shotting Magneton and Bastiodon with Earthquake, while Flopper surfed away Steelix, meaning it was another gym battle where we didn't take a single hit. So it's about that time where we do the whole Team Galactic Lake Gauntlet thing, beginning with Saturn, whose Golbat posed a little bit of a challenge for Gibby, but nothing too crazy. Other than that, Flopper and Sprout had no problems taking down Bronzor and Toxicroak. On to Commander Mars, who was just about as easy. Gabite has turned into the Bat Killer apparently, while Whiscash has become the Bronzor Killer. Anyways, one revenge from Machoke took care of Purugly. After traveling through the dreadful blizzard, it was time to battle Candace. And don't be that guy that makes the joke in the comments section. Come on now. Sneasel obviously went down in one hit from Kickster, so Candace went straight to Froslass. She missed 3 blizzards in a row on Gabite, but it didn't really help us, as I only got off 1 Dragon Claw due to a Hyper Potion. Luckily, Flopper was able to finish the job, while we had super effective moves for Abomasnow and Pillowswine, so the rest of the fight was a breeze. On the top floor of the Galactic HQ, it was time for another match with Cyrus, and this one was probably easier than the first battle. As expected, Kickster dealt with Sneasel. Whiscash and Crobat were trading hits, but Flopper was a bit bulkier, so he came out on top. Last out was Honchkrow, who got defeated by the power of friendship, aka Staraptor's return. Down the hallway, Saturn wanted another shot at us, but all you need to know is that it went the exact same way as the first battle with him. A more interesting fight was the double battle with Mars and Jupiter on Spear Pillar. Flopper only managed to take down one of the Bronzors, so I sent in Gibby, who helped to knock out the other Bronzor and Skuntank. However, one slash from Purugly ended him, so it was up to Brian. Our rival Staraptor actually did kill the Purugly, so the only mons left were 2 Golbats, who couldn't take the Staraptor and Floatzel combo. I honestly wasn't sure if I could beat Cyrus in the Distortion world yet, but I gave it a shot nonetheless. Whiscash washed away Houndoom, but got burned in the process. Brian hung on to take down Gyarados, while Machoke one-shot Weavile. Crobat, on the other hand, is a big problem. I have no super effective moves for it, and nothing on my team can take its attacks too well. This stupid bat ended up killing the rest of my team, but I think if I can have Staraptor at full health to take on Crobat, then we can win. Many attempts later, as predicted, I sent out Brian with full HP against Crobat, who only decided to use Toxic, so 2 returns did the trick. Staraptor then went above and beyond by knocking out Gyarados as well, but the Toxic eventually got to him. It was no big deal though, as Cyrus only had Honchkrow left, so Flopper and Gibby tag teamed it for the victory. I was really struggling to come up with a good final team member, but I finally landed on Magnemite. I don't have a steel or electric type, so that works out. I don't really know how I'm going to use this Mon though, as the best electric move I can give it is Shockwave, and other than that, it'll only have stuff like Magnet Bomb. So I might make our future Magnezone more of a bulkier setup Mon, but we'll see. In the meantime, I've got one word for Volkner's gym: Earthquake. Okay, technically I did use Dig as well to kill his Raichu, but you get the point. This gym was a piece of cake. We were first to the Pokemon League, meaning you-know-who was behind us. Second wanted one more chance to show what he's made of, but this battle was filled with a lot of 1 or 2 hit KOs. The killing spree began with a Shockwave on Staraptor, an Earthquake and Surf against Infernape, and a single Fly to take down Roserade. I sorta forgot that Floatzel knew Ice Fang, so Torterra got one shot, but Machoke knocked Floatzel down to red health before second decided to switch into Heracross. This resulted in another one-hit KO from Brian, and then Floatzel got finished off by a Vital Throw. Last up was Snorlax, who got outlasted by Staraptor. For the second time in a row, I forgot to show off my team before going into the Elite Four, so just ignore some of the levels. As you can see, our team is mostly filled with many basic yet strong attacks. I'm liking the type diversity as well, and I'm interested to see what we can do with stuff like Reflect, Light Screen, and Stealth Rock. Anyways, let's see if we can take down the Elite Four. Aaron was the first member, and most of this battle was a complete joke. Yanmega, Drapion, and Heracross all got taken out in a single hit. Vespiquen was a little annoying, as it tried to stall us with Defend and Heal order, while it took Whiscash and Magnezone to bring down Scizor. So far so good in the Elite Four, as Bertha posed no challenge at all. Torterra was able to Grass Knot his way through most of her Pokemon, while Flopper got in there to kill Gliscor. You guys are about to witness what might just be the easiest E4 battle in history. All Garchomp had to do was spam Earthquake on all 5 of Flint's Pokemon. I really feel like we should be struggling a bit more right now, but whatever. Like usual, Lucian was by far the toughest member up to this point. The battle began with Magnezone and Mr. Mime going back and forth with Light Screen and Reflect. However, I did get Lucian to use up one of his full restores, but eventually North Pole went down. Staraptor came in for the cleanup, and he also OHKO'd Gallade and Alakazam. Espeon did some damage to my team, as it finished off Brian and two-shot Torterra. Luckily, Gibby outsped, so one Dragon Claw did the trick. Bronzong was out last, and I got a little worried as it took down Kickster and Flopper, while Lucian used another full restore. However, Garchomp's Dragon Claw was just enough to finish the job. So now it was finally time for the true test, Cynthia. I set up Stealth Rocks with Torterra before getting a very lucky critical hit from Earthquake to knock out Spiritomb. Magnezone chipped away at Togekiss, but Aura Sphere was too much for us to handle. Because of this, Staraptor came out and killed her with a return before Whiscash dealt with Lucario. Just like our rivals Roserade, Cynthia's got one shot by a fly, so Milotic was out next. It finished off Torterra and Whiscash, but Brian was a beast and hung on with 4 HP to take her down with 2 returns. Last up was her one and only Garchomp, who managed to kill Machoke and Staraptor. It came down to an epic honor battle between Gibby and Cynthia's Garchomp, but Gibby somehow outsped and made us the new champions with 1 Dragon Claw. And with that, we have beaten Pokemon Platinum with no secondary effects. This challenge was definitely an interesting one to say the least, as it was annoying to have all these good Pokemon, but be stuck with mostly mediocre moves. I also found it funny that the middle portion of the game seemed to be the most difficult. If you guys want to see more of these types of challenge runs, then let me know down below in the comments section. For now though, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to see more. And until next time, deuces!